I'd like to show you how these rims turned into these ones and how many steps it took along the way. The reason for their sad condition is not only and not so much the carelessness of the previous owner, but also time itself. They were made in 1989. It feels like they haven't been washed for all 36 years. Still, they're an amazing option for a classic car, one of which I recently became the lucky owner. It's perfect, but the wheels are terrible. We're going to fix that. Remember them as they are now. You won't see them like this again. First, let's clean them with wheel cleaner. The old balancing weights gone. Inside there was some wild buildup. I don't even know what kind of horror that was. And so I'll have to clean each wheel rim, all 4 of them. Even with wheel cleaner and a drill brush attachment, I still end up scraping things off by hand with a knife. Finally, they're clean. Now we can see just how many nicks and imperfections there are. Our task is to bring them back to their original luxurious look, so they can shine on this beautiful rocket. Let's see what we can do. I have to apologize for this part. I don't have a proper rim polishing machine right now. Over the past 3 years, because of unstable political circumstances, I only have the tools I could carry in a suitcase. First, my family and I had to leave our homeland, and just 3 months ago we were forced to leave the country that had become our new home. It's crazy, but I hope I can share a bit of resourcefulness and the ability to make something out of nothing. In the end, this method isn't so bad, even if it looks strange or makeshift. If we wait for perfect conditions to do anything, sometimes we end up never doing it at all. So yes, this is going to be our rim polishing machine. I just take a sanding disc, grit 40, and put it on a screw gun. This gives us good efficiency for removing the big bumps and roughness on the rims. The work itself feels quite meditative and calming, though it does take concentration. For the grooves, the drill won't work, but the rim can still be sanded by hand. I go through a lot of sanding disc for this. See the little metal particles flying off? Pretty effective. At last, I'm happy with the result. My fingers don't catch a single nick on the surface. The result is beautiful. Far from perfect still, but compared to how it all began, it's night and day. On the second rim, I found something nasty. I didn't want you to see this, but I had no choice, so now you'll have to learn a little woodpecker repair technique too. Honestly, the rim was awful and I had to hammer it over and over just to get an acceptable result. After that, once again leveling the surface with coarse sandpaper. For the thinner areas, I use a stick to press the sanding disc into place. Finally, another step done. The smaller imperfections can be lightly sanded out. I think it came out just wonderful, but aluminum rims should shine like mirrors. It's another meditative process, and each time a finer grit of sandpaper. We move on to finer sanding. Don't do it like this. Don't stick your fingers into moving wheels, please. I'll have to add a disclaimer that this trick was done by a professional and I don't recommend it to anyone. Anyway. At grit 240, I add a piece of cloth, because the dust starts interfering with sanding and leaves scratches. So I even decided to wash it off with water right away. The difference is unbelievable. After that comes grit 400. It's sold in sheets like this. Of course, I tear it into smaller pieces to use, and I promise this is the grit where we'll start to see a light mirror-like shine appear on the surface. A promise of the luxury we're slowly working towards. Grit 500, I'll do by hand. The black color you see is fine metal shavings. If they're there, it means we're doing everything right. Just a reminder, I'm doing this process for all 4 rims. To see the results, they need a good wash with dish soap. Do you already see the reflection appearing on the surface? Next, I use a special fluffy polishing pad. We carefully apply metal polishing compound to it. And yes, this is the moment when the real magic begins. The fluffy pad wears down as we go, and I trim it with a wire brush. A mirror. Now, since I want to change the rim's color from black to bronze, I need to lightly sand the black surface. For this I use a special sponge. Or rather, pieces of sponge that I cut from a larger one. Then we mask off our mirror finish with painter's tape, so we can spray paint the rest. Bronze will fit my car better. In the future, I'd even like to add wooden details. Bronze will match beautifully. Removing the masking tape, masking off the front completely from paint would be too hard. So now I just carefully remove the extra paint with sanding. Already nice, but still missing a little bit of shine. It already looks pretty good, but I really want to see how they'll look on the car itself. For that, I need to put in the valves and mount the tires. Mounting tires is usually a pretty boring job, but I've been doing it for so long that these wheels almost mount themselves. I'm not joking. Look, it's practically magic. I always have so many ideas for new projects, but there's nothing quite like the joy of seeing each one come to life. This car, by the way, is a true legend in its country and in its class. Write to me if you recognize it. I'd also love to hear your thoughts on whether these rims made it more beautiful.